very excitingly, we'll be flying to Cambodia in just 2 days, and there's a couple of things to do leading up to this big holiday. And I thought that it could perhaps be quite useful to look at, simply put, just various tips to do before a big holiday. Okay, when it comes to planning tasks that you need to do, you want to think about how much time you have leading up to your flight. So for example, we need to return some packages, and on the Friday there's not enough time to do it. And then tomorrow's a national holiday, so all the post offices will be closed, which means that returning packages will have to be done today. And a second box. Okay, I need to wait for my boyfriend to send me the return labels, and then I can put these into its correct boxes and then go and return them. Now, just like with the returns of giving yourself enough time to do those returns, you also want to give yourself enough time for anything you might want to or need to order before the holidays. So for example, we needed some extra suitcases, and I ordered the navy one for my boyfriend a couple of weeks ago. We tested that one out first, so we liked it. Then I got some more. And with big important items like suitcases, you always want to give yourself a couple of extra days just in case the delivery doesn't come on time or there's a problem with the delivery. Then at least that way you've given yourself a bit of extra time. So I'm glad these have arrived. These are the Samsonite array of suitcases, by the way. And if you're looking for a soft shell suitcase, because with hard suitcases I just hate how it opens like a clamshell, then these are some great finds, and the fact that it was discounted made it quite a easy purchase. Speaking of ordering travel goods like the suitcases, a couple of weeks ago I also ordered these packing cubes from BagSmart, and what I really liked about these is that they had a mesh front pocket, so it makes it a bit more breathable and you can see what's inside it. Another quite cool bonus feature that I didn't see in a lot of other packing cubes was the fact that it had a label slot at the front. So I ordered these. So I thought the orange one could be for me and then the blue one for my boyfriend. So okay, I went through all of them, turned them all inside out, and now these are all ready to be washed. Alright, I just got the information from him, so apparently the shoes and shorts go in one box. And then the 2 t-shirts go in another package. Okay, that's all ready to go to the post office when I go for my walk soon. But first I want to move on to another task just so that that one is done and out of the way as well. Okay, moving on to the next quick thing. Now, I know before a big holiday, especially for myself, you want to try to get everything done, and unfortunately sometimes you just don't have enough time for it. So as one example, I really wanted to try and hang up the curtain, but unfortunately there's just not enough time and it's just not a priority to do now. So this will still be here when we get back, so I'll do it then. But I do need to put the ladder back in its right spot in case one of the neighbors want to use it. Alright, the ladder is back in its right spot. Okay, so when it comes to planning to do tasks before a big holiday, just consider things like how much time do you have to do those things, and if something is going to take too much time, it's not with priority, then just don't worry about it. It will still be there when you get back. But for something relatively easy that you can do in 2 to 5 minutes, then see if you can just get it out of the way, and then you won't have to think about it when you're on holiday. So one of my tasks for today is to add salt to the dishwasher and to clean the filter, and that should take just 2 to 5 minutes to do, so I'm just going to quickly get that out of the way now. Okay, that was a quick 2 minutes, and now that can be ticked off of the to-do list. Okay, I want to soon get ready to start packing things, so I think I'll bring these 2 up, and then along with the packing cubes, then everything's just ready to go in one spot, ready to be packed up. Now, one crucial thing that you'll probably be doing before a big holiday is lots of laundry. Now, also, how come it always seems like there's so much laundry to do before a big holiday? I always like to try to think a little bit about the timing of what load I do and when. So here, for example, I have some towels because I knew that they would take quite a while to do, so I did them first thing in the morning. then those can go in the dryer and then I can fold them tonight and put them back. Even though they're not essential to bring on the holiday, I just think it's also nice to try to get as much of the laundry out of the way so you don't have to do all of it when you get back. And now the next load I want to do is the dark delicates. Now, these I don't put into the dryers. And now since these clothes need to be hung up, I just want to do it first so that it has enough time to dry in case I want to take one of these clothing items with us. So, 2 new loads ready to go. Now when it comes to planning on how I like to do my laundry before going to the big holiday, I also like to consider about what I want to take with me. So the days prior leading up to, I try to get us to wear the clothes that we most likely do not want to take with us on holiday. And then, now again, when it comes to washing the regular loads, I like to start with the fullest basket first because just in case it needs to be washed into 2 loads, then at least you can kind of decide what you want to ultimately take with you and then see if you have time to wash both of them. Okay, I might want to actually take the shirt with me on holiday because it's just an easy, dark, loose shirt. Good for our time in Borneo. So I think I'll change out of this shirt into another one and then add this into the laundry basket as well. Alright, and changed. Okay, these are all done, the dark, more delicate items, so these can be hung up. And then it's time for the dark, normal load. And then the towel should also be done now. Okay, that's a few loads already done today. All about efficiency. Alright, so now I want to start working on the next easy planning task, and that's to divide the supplements that I want to take with us on this holiday. Now, since he will be staying there a little longer than I will, I think instead of trying to count the amount I need from the multivitamins, for example, then I'm just going to make 1 box for all of his pills, and then 1 box for myself. Okay, that feels like a lot, but that's all packaged up. So, the few days leading up to the big holiday, I like to try to do as minimum grocery shopping as possible and at the same time eat what's left in the fridge and some items in the pantry. So, since we're leaving quite soon, I'm just going to do a quick check to see what we should eat tonight, what I should perhaps prepare for the freezer, stuff like that. So, an example of that is freezing some of this jam. I've done this on other occasions where there was just too much jam to finish it before leaving. So I just took 2 of these silicone ice cream trays and I make sure to always use the blue one for sweet items like this. And then I left a bit of it so that I can have it for lunch today and I'll have the rest tomorrow with breakfast. Okay, then as for what's the rest in the fridge, some oatmeal for us tomorrow, salad for dinner tonight or tomorrow night. But I think we'll be gone for too long for these limes to be usable, so I'm just going to quickly prepare these as well. So I just finished peeling all of them and now I want to blend this and then pour it into an ice cube tray and then I can put that into the freezer. Okay, and that's done. If you blend the limes directly, rather than just cutting up into wedges, then it just helps to keep some of the fiber. And then I grabbed a funnel with the tip so that it's a bit easier to pour into the ice cube tray. Alright, that's done. And so tomorrow they should be frozen and then I can transfer them into a freezer bag like this. Okay, now moving on to the next quick food preparation task. I think since we only have 2 small red onions left, I'm just gonna chop them up now and then we can add them to the salad tonight. red onions, also done.
I'm gonna do a bit of folding.
Alright, it's the following day. I'm just wearing the same shirt again, just to save on some laundry. Well, I just put on my makeup instead of putting everything back into the drawer or back into its correct spot. I kept everything that I want to wear tomorrow out here, and then everything else I want to take with me but I don't need to wear tomorrow morning, I can just directly pack it into the makeup bags. Just by directly packing what I want to take with me and then leaving what I want to use tomorrow but also take with me out here just helps to ensure that you don't forget it. And then lastly, instead of checking this big foundation bottle with me, I'm just gonna pour in a bit of it into a smaller jar. Alright, I think I have most things ready. This I'll need for tomorrow, then I'll put the makeup brushes into this bag, and then the rest of the makeup into this one. Okay, next up I want to do those tasks that are so easy to forget, but it's always better to do them earlier on so that they're out of the way, because this is easily one of those tasks where if you don't do it now, then I can so see us at the airport, rushing, trying to find a pen to quickly fill this in. By the way, if you're filling these luggage tags in, then of course remember to put in your country code for your phone number. Okay, these have dried and now I can stick the luggage tag stickers onto the suitcases. And one other thing that my boyfriend did this morning related to the suitcases is changing the locks. Now the specific task of adding luggage tags or changing the locks to new suitcases probably won't be applicable to a lot of people, especially if you're departing relatively soon. But just think of this as an example of a task that's easily forgettable, but something that it's better to do it now so that you're not rushing to do it at the airport or in the car or at the hotel or destination. Awesome. One more done. And I need to put the last one on the suitcase, on the big suitcase upstairs. Alright, here's another quick tip I like to do before leaving. And this is for when you get those new devices that you're not sure yet how they work. Well, this is a bag I'm going to take with me and use it as my under-seat carry-on bag. And then just in case we need it, I'm going to pack the instructions to this device, the AirFly Pro, into this bag. And then put it into this bag. What you can also do, of course, is take a picture of it and then leave the manual at home. And then I'll also pack up the device into this bag as well. Okay, that's another quick thing done. Alright, I am back from my walk, I had a good lunch, and now it's time to finally start folding all of this and just move it out of the way. And now this should be the last bag to fold. Okay, what feels like 5,000 loads later, all the washing is finally done, so now I'm just gonna make sure that I leave these open. But you should generally leave these doors open if you have a front-loading washing machine. And then it's also good to remember to leave the detergent dispenser area also open. And then since all these laundry baskets are also practically empty, it's also a good idea just to let the openings stay open just to help these ventilate a little bit more. Alright, all the folding is done. Made myself an iced coffee. And the next quick thing I want to do, which I don't do before every holiday, but this time we're going away for almost a month and I haven't done it in a while, and what I want to do now is just quickly back up my computer. Now ideally you should probably be backing up your computer every 2 weeks, maybe every month, but I've not done so in a while, and sometimes when we go away for a while, it's just a good reminder to back up your computer in case something were to happen to your computer. Okay, now while it's backing up onto the hard drive, I can finally start packing. Now I have in my iPad here a packing list, and I divide it into two different parts. So the first part is things that we always take with us, or I always take with me, and then underneath is another list of kind of extra things that are good to remember, but we don't always have to bring on every trip. So things like a microfiber towel, you don't always need it, but it's good to remember to add to a list for in case you do need to add it to a certain holiday. So then what I'll do afterwards is I'll copy the entire list and make a new page and add that list there. For this occasion, I'll title it Cambodia Packing List, and then I'll check what's on the list, start deleting things that we don't need, and adding things that are good to bring for this trip. And then by having the list dedicated towards one destination, i.e. Cambodia in this occasion, then when we're in Cambodia, we're packing to go back, then we can always check if we have everything that we were supposed to have. Okay, I want to try quickly packing up all the liquids and those kind of things, seeing what we need. So again, same with the makeup, I try to put what I want to use in the morning out here and then not put it back. And then I had some face mask and hair mask from another trip that I did not end up using, so now I can just directly take these. And then I'll bring a small bottle of body wash with us as well for the Borneo trip, just in case. Okay, I've used this toilet bag as well. I'll put one side for my boyfriend's stuff, and then the other side for more us essential items. So things like toothpaste, floss. Just go grab a toothpaste. No, actually what I'll do is I'll take this new 75 ml toothpaste and put it with a carry-on suitcase. So that it's always good to be able to brush your teeth at a layover or on the plane, especially for a long haul flight. So I'm going to put this down to the carry-on suitcase. Okay, let's see what else I need. Package some extra contact lenses, a full case of contact solution, and then a smaller 100 ml again with the carry-on stuff. Okay, I think I finished gathering all the liquids and stuff like that that I want to take with us. So things to use tonight and tomorrow, I'll leave them here, and then this is almost empty, so I can take in my contacts tonight and put them in there, throw this out tomorrow morning. I have a new one in the bag already, and then this should be done as well. This is just one other random tip that I thought of doing. So I went to the Keel store the other day here, and I went for a quick 5-minute consultation, just kind of asking about skincare recommendations. So she gave me actually this entire pamphlet of the full step that I could do, everything from face wash to toner to moisturizer and serums. So it's super handy to have this, so I'm just going to take this with me and then see if I can find any of this at the duty-free shop or in Cambodia and see if it's a better price. So I'm going to put this at the front. So that's another quick tip, is see what you perhaps want to buy at the duty-free and see if it's a better price there. Alright, now I'm at that part where I'm starting to pack up all the kind of administrative things. So first off, whenever you can, try to bring some of the currency of the destination that you're going to beforehand. It's always better to first check if you have some of the currency in the first place. So I'm going to put those away in a second. Sometimes with some destinations like Phnom Penh where we're going to, you need to get a visa on arrival. So having some cash on hand is always good. Okay, and another quick administrative thing that I recommend to bring alongside with the currency, if you have it, is to bring some extra passport pictures. For some countries, for example, with the visa on arrival, then sometimes you need to give them a passport picture as well. So I have mine, and I have the one for my boyfriend as well. This is the pouch where I always keep my passport in there when I'm traveling. So I kept a piece of paper in there that I always keep in here, and then before traveling somewhere I check this list and it says other things to perhaps bring: local currencies, SIM cards, vouchers, coupons, travel cards, or business cards. So things like local currency, the US dollars, SIM cards. I have the SIM card from last time. I'm going to see if it still works. I'm going to add to this list passport pictures. And also good to always keep an extra pen in this area, especially when you need to fill in those arrival cards or custom cards. I was so sure I lost these. That's why it's good to just empty out those wallets and travel pouches once in a while. I'm happy to have found these again. Alright, and then another recommendation, especially if you're going to be gone for quite a while, is to think about what administrative tasks you might need to do while you're away and what you'll need for that, because sometimes, depending on where you are, there might be some geographical restrictions. So I think I'm going to bring this with me just in case I need it. And then same with if you need to check your bank, good to have those card readers with you. Okay, this is all looking good to go. Now the next thing you want to do is remember to have all your devices charged, so things like your iPad, your laptop, your phone. But don't forget to check those things like your headphones or your power bank, charge those. Or things like that wireless Bluetooth device. Okay, now comes the time to start packing up all the clothes. And I know that's very tempting, especially if you're packing quite last minute. You just take everything out of the closet and dump on the bed. And then afterwards start to eliminate things so you're not taking your entire wardrobe with you. But a while ago when I did my wardrobe declutter, I took a picture of all the clothing items. And I'm just going to quickly go through all the pictures and then create a new album of Cambodia packing list. And then add what I think I want to pack with me into that album, saving myself the trouble of having to take things out, then refold them and put them back into the wardrobe. Okay, adding the pictures to the list has definitely helped because now I can easily see things like I want to take these two tops, this one, now as I'm trying to finalize our packing list, I'm also looking at the things to bring rather than just the clothes. And one random thing to bring, but always very useful, is to bring an extra sponge and a dishwashing brush. Okay, I think I finally finished gathering all the clothes. I've eliminated quite a bit again, and then I organized them into packing cubes and made little labels. So now they just need to go in the suitcase. And after putting this all in the suitcase, I also want to weigh how much the suitcase weighs. Alright, the last day is always quite rushed, but there are always just a few last things you need to grab in the morning. For example, your glasses if you wear them, or for us in this case, the vitamins that are in the fridge. So under the packing list, I just made an extra note for things to not forget tomorrow morning. Sort of the last minute packing things. But then I'm also going to write it down on a piece of paper. So then tomorrow morning it'll be just a last quick check. And then I think we are almost ready to go.